guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Clarabelle and I'm super delighted to have you back here again. To my new subscribers, I really want to say thank you. Thank you for taking out time to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you like us enough to stay with us. And for those still contemplating maybe to subscribe or not to subscribe, I hope that you love us enough to subscribe and join the family. So today I'm going to be talking about emotional stability, and there's a reason I chose to talk about this, because there's been recent back-to-back situations that have triggered me to talk about this today. And if it's something you're interested in, please sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this video together. So emotional maturity, emotions are part of our lives. Emotions are things, are part of our lives, because that's what we're going to deal with for the rest of our lives. As long as we're alive, we have emotions, we have feelings, that could trigger us. But how do we maintain a stable emotion in a tough situations? Because there'll be times where we have so much difficulties, we have troubles, and emotions could be very high when we're not in a good space in life. But how we handle situations determine the outcome of that situation, and that would show if you're fully, honestly, emotionally stable. So an emotionally stable woman handles situations even when she is in the worst situations. She knows how to control her emotions. She does not allow her emotions to get the best of her. She's still in making decisions. So lately I've seen a lot of cases that have triggered me to talk about this, mostly in the case of women in relationships. Something happened today that made me, in fact, told myself, Clara, I think it's due time you do this video. In my previous videos, I talked about a video where I talked about emotional maturity. If you've not watched that, go back, and I'm going to insert it somewhere here. But emotions are part of our lives, and if you're not careful, the devil could use that to destroy you. So something happened recently. You must have seen the video. People were talking about it. I wanted to talk about the video, but people had talked about it so much that I felt like I think it's not really necessary to confirm me anymore. But with what happened today, it is going to take me back to that video. There's a woman that a few weeks ago got involved in a very ghastly accident that took her life, and this was as a result of emotional instability. She was called by her friend, and her friend told her that she found her husband with a side chick. So because of the anger, she took that information, decided to act upon it. She jumped into the car and drove. On her way, she lost control of the car, because I can imagine how angry she was. Nobody knows what must have triggered her. She must have been tolerating the cheating husband for a long time, and she wanted to prove a point that day that, you know what, I caught you red-handed. I've been feeling this, I've been going through this. I don't know what she was thinking, but she decided to take that step by jumping into the car, driving to the scene to catch up with her husband and the side chick. But unfortunately, she's not here to tell the story. She's not here anymore because she got into an accident and lost her life. And the only way you can master how to handle situations and how to be emotionally stable is, number one, is to choose yourself. You value yourself so much that you're not going to allow any man make you go out of character. That's number one way. Once you value yourself, you love yourself so much. If the woman had thought through that situation, she got a call, she got the information, because she loves herself so much, she wouldn't find herself trying to hop into the car, probably to go fight the side chick, or probably to confront her husband and to prove a point. Who knows? But if she was emotionally stable, she could have handled that situation in a different way, that she might have been here, still alive, taking care of her children and living her best life. But because she allowed the emotions to take the better part of her, she decided to act upon it, but unfortunately lost her life. The man in question is right here on earth, still living his best life. when you think about it, is it really worth it? The one that triggered me to talk about this today, again, was something that happened today, that a young lady that have been married for so long to this man, I'm going to insert their pictures, something drastic, chaotic, unthinkable happened that must have been going on in their relationship. There's a whole lot. The man is a cheat. The man is not making her feel good in the relationship. The man, and this woman was going insane because of this man. Unfortunately, died today due to domestic violence. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a screenshot of Bimbo story, the one that recently happened today, that actually triggered me to talk about this. So the story of Bimbo Ogbonna, Pip's girl, is very complicated and near foolish one. Bimbo, married to a popular businessman, IVD, had reportedly set herself ablaze with 5 children and husband in the same house. I really took interest in the trending story until my big sister Olori Sandra Adesheye Thomas called my attention, reminding me that Bimbo and IVD had lived in the same hood with us back in South Africa, along Olori herself, over a decade ago. I remember we would call them Pips. Bimbo and Pips, now called IVD, had married around 2009 as teenage lovers. With Bimbo was around 18, 19. IVD Ogbonna was in his earliest 20s. While we were in South Africa, it was more of a Bonnie and Clyde thing. They loved themselves so intensely, and they fought so fiercely. Their crisis would be legendary, and the next thing they caught it up. I had thought na Ogbanje Enyefa Nsogbu. Until 2014 or thereabouts, most of us in that hood relocated to different countries, including themselves, who relocated back to Nigeria to become big shots after IVD had hit some money. Reports had it that the money could not reduce their fighting and crisis, rather it's worsened it. Bimbo would run away from home today, denouncing the marriage. Tomorrow they are up and kissing in new photos. For neighbors in their new rich Lekki neighborhood, it was a normal thing. I read reports of them abusing drugs together and doing dirty I got your back stuff. Now until 2 days ago, when they both had a big one, and Bimbo, who had repeatedly through her Instagram story announced that she needed mental help, set the house on fire, including herself. The children were reportedly thrown into the swimming pool to avoid burnt, while IVD Ogbonna bolted away on their ways as they were taking the wife of his youth to the hospital. She was accordingly to reports rejected by 10 hospitals and admitted by the 11th one, where she gave up the ghost. During this incessant fight, she would accuse the husband of being a fraudster and a fetishism. She also reminded him of how she gave up everything for him. Rest in peace, Miss Pips. This is so sad. This is really sad. And due to domestic violence that have been occurring in their relationship for so long, they have 5 children. There's a whole lot of story behind this person. And if you're younger, and you're planning on getting married, marriage is a great thing. Unfortunately, the bad ones are giving you guys the impression that there are no good marriages out there. There's still good marriages. Recently, I've seen women lost their lives, leaving their beautiful children behind because of a man. No man is created to give you happiness. No woman is created to give you happiness or peace of mind. You have to choose to make yourself happy in a relationship. Choose you first. Because when you value yourself enough as a person, you're bringing another human being into your life not to make you happy. It's easier for you to give what you have. But when you don't love yourself, how are you able to love someone else? Think about this. It is deeper. Self-love is the number one essential thing that you have to cultivate in every relationship. When you love yourself and value yourself, there are ways that you reconcile issues. There are ways that you tackle difficult times in relationship. Because you know what? You love yourself enough not to go crazy because of that other person. First of all, I think we forget sometimes that men or women that are in relationships with us are human beings. If you're not able to cope in such relationship, if you can't find a coping mechanism to be in the relationship, for you to be alive, for your children, to be happy in life, to attain your goals in life, to achieve greatness in life, leave that relationships. But I find that women don't leave relationships like this. They are hoping and thinking that the way to go about this is to go fight the side chick, is to go beat the other person, is to go crazy. You lose your life while trying to do all of this. You go to jail while trying to do all of this. And the other person is alive, enjoying and living their best lives. Women, we need to learn to love ourselves. Because we always think that these men are the prize, or we always think men in this situation always think that these women are the prize, but in reality they are really not the prize. And things like this also happen when you don't have Christ in your life. The only place you can find peace, sanity, and endless love is in Christ. And once you are in Christ, you know that you have a Father that is above every other man on earth. So you will choose to love yourself. You act like you have a Father that created that person that you think is so important in your life, because that person is really not important. It is you. Choose you. Always choose you. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are beautiful. Once you begin to see that within yourself, you will not go out of character. You will not go out of your way to go put yourself in trouble and sometimes even lose your life in the midst of this. Think about your children. Make better decisions in resolving issues. Learn to manage your emotions. Is this the worst that could happen to me on earth? Is this the worst that has happened to anybody in relationships? It's not the worst. I mean, we know that there are a lot of things in marriages, or attitude and behaviors in marriages that are even worse than cheating. But some people are still living happily in that relationship because they've chosen or they've found a coping mechanism to help them go through that. And you see them celebrate 30 years, 50 years, 60 years. And people begin to wonder, what is the magic? The magic is, number one, they have chosen to make themselves happy. They choose themselves first. They realize that the other person is not the source of their happiness, because the happiness comes from you. If I love myself so much, I'm not going to drive to go fight another woman because of my husband. Look at me now. I'm a whole package. Why would I go fight another woman because of a man? If the man that I'm with has chosen to act out of character, to not stick to our commitment. And another thing that we forget, that the person you're with is a human being. What is love really if you can't forgive the other person their flaws? We are looking for perfection, and there is no perfection everywhere. We get carried away by the things we see on social media. We compare our marriages to other people's marriages. Look inwardly and deal with your own situation. Ask yourself deep question. Are these really the worst things that could happen to me? How can I handle situations? And the only way you can answer this question is, number one, choosing yourself. Choose yourself always. I feel bad for these children. 5 children. The lady that died today has left behind 5 children. What if she chose to find a mechanism to leave this man? What if she chose herself first? Maybe this man would not make her go crazy. And I don't want us to always think that these men or these women, for men in situations like this, are the reason why we act out of character. We have to start holding ourselves accountable to these things. I am accountable to my life. I am accountable to the decisions that I make. I hold myself accountable. When you start holding yourself accountable, you know that no man is worth you losing your license, losing your life, losing your job, acting out of character, because you know what? I love myself enough. So I decided to do a video about this today. Is it really worth it? Women, choose yourself. You are worthy. You are valuable. At the moment you start loving yourself, the way you handle situations are different. You love yourself enough to know that it's not worth me stressing myself. It's really not. And you grow yourself. You come to your true self. You're happy. You have a life outside your husband. Choose yourself today. Think about your children. Think about your children. They didn't call to be here, to be abandoned. Not because it's something that cannot be avoided, but because you don't love yourself so much. You make decisions that you end up regretting. Emotional stability is what we need. And the only way you can be emotionally stable is when you love yourself. And I've come to the end of my video. So until I come your way next week, I remain your one and only girl, Clarabelle. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. But before I go, like I always do, you are loved, you are kind, you are special, you are beautiful. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.